Micah, welcome back. I'm excited for this kind of short 10, 15-minute talk. I think it's going to benefit a lot of high school athletes, especially. Talking about things that they can do to help impact their team to be more successful throughout their high school career. And maybe even better yet, leave a legacy for the mark that they want to try to leave with their community, with the players following in their footsteps at their school. So to recap this, you played 3 years of varsity basketball at Unionville Seedling Schools. You won 3 district championships. You won 3 league championships. You won a regional championship, which we talked a lot about in our last podcast series with the Kramer Bros podcast. And the crazy thing is you never lost a regular season game the past 2 seasons of your high school career.
Yep.
You never lost the game to your biggest rival, one of the best teams in the league, Reese, during your high school career. So what are some things that made your team stand out in such a dramatic way, being one of the best teams in the state of Michigan?
There's a lot that goes into it. And the more I think about it, the more credit I feel deserves to go to our coach. And just the foundation that he's laid on to create such a great program throughout the last 20 years. So I just remember it was just a regular thing for our team to have a tough practice and then to drive and go and watch another team play. So we were always scouting, and if the team wasn't scouting, then they were scouting. We were always talking about what we can do to prepare for the next game. So we always had a good game plan. And one of the biggest advantages I feel that my team had was we had the ability to play multiple defenses. So we could press you, we could half-court trap you, and we had about 5 different versions of our half-court trap based off of how good the other team's post player was, how strong their point guard was, how good their wings were. We had a press and a trap for every single one of those reads. And we could also do a 2-3 zone, but we always had to have man-to-man down because our defensive coach would say, we can do all this stuff all day, we can do all this fancy stuff, but at the end of the day, you need to know man-to-man. And that's kind of his motto. So one of the biggest advantages throughout my career that I realized is based off the team that we're playing and off the flow of the game, we could switch defenses just like that. And basically, the most important thing throughout my whole career was just our team defense. That's what had the biggest impact. The ability to scout other teams, see what their strengths are, and adjust our defenses to that. So a lot of our game planning was trying to dictate the momentum of the game and try to control the other team based off of what their weaknesses were. We did that through scouting, we did that through good communication, and we did that through focus during practice.
So tough practices, preparation for the other team, and then you spoke a lot about defense. Now, you give a lot of credit where credit is due to the coaching staff, but I know as well as anybody that every coach preaches playing great defense. It's on the players to do it, right? The coach can't go out there and play defense for you. It's on the players to do it. And so it's really important that basically you started out this interview talking about defense because it's not flashy, but if you want to be a great team, you need to play great defense. Not sometimes, all the time. And that's just a testament to one of the reasons why you guys, didn't lose a regular season game for, 2 seasons. You won a regional, you lost in another regional final your sophomore and junior year. The team that you lost to in the state tournament ended up winning the state title. I mean, if you can't win the state title, you might as well lose to the team that wins it all, right?
Yep.
what were some things that you felt like individually, because probably an individual watching this video, not a full team sitting around
Yep.
watching this video. So as an individual, what are some of the things that you could bring to your team to help raise everyone else's level?
Okay, so I might as well start with what I tried to do on defense, since we're on the subject. For me personally, I was not a very good defender, especially on the ball. So it was my job to know the game plan better than anybody and to always be in the right position. And there were times where I was caught in the wrong position, and coach would chew me out, or I'd get taken out of the game or something. But so that just made it so much more important for me to always know the correct position to be in, because I didn't have the ability to make up for it with super good on-ball defense. So I had to I had to control what I could control. Basically, I had to be the loudest guy on the court. I never shut up on defense. I never stopped talking. I always made sure to tell my guy, hey, I got gap. Hey, I got help. Shot. Let's get the board, and then push it up the floor. So I made sure to control exactly what I could. Always had to know what I'm doing on defense, and I always had to talk to let my teammates know that I got their back. So that's just rule number one for me on defense, is to never shut up. Um, and then individually, what I can do on the other end of the court, is to understand that basketball, if you want to be good at it, is an everyday thing. It's a year-round sport for you, and that doesn't mean you have to be playing in a summer league. You have to be playing AAU, although that will help you get exposure for college. But it does mean that you need to be working out and working on your game every single day. It's not on the coach to make sure you are super skilled. It's on the coach to make sure he's scouting other teams, and it's on the coach to make sure you have a good game plan. But it's not all on him to make sure you are a skilled player, because that stuff comes in the summer. That stuff comes, and if through extra workouts, your coach can't take you by the hand the entire time. So it's your job as a player to make sure you're ready when that season comes, and to make sure you have a couple new moves in your bag every single year, and you're more confident with the moves that you used in the previous year. So that can be free throws, dribble moves, getting in the weight room. Your coach can't hold your hand the whole way through. So if you want to make a mark on the program, then you have to do more than what any other players are doing. And one of the biggest tips I can give that I didn't do enough in high school is playing one-on-one with people that are better than you. If you're not playing one-on-one with people who are better scorers than you or better defenders than you, then it's pretty hard to improve over the summer. So I've been focusing on playing a lot of one-on-one over this last year, and basically it just allows me to take the moves that I'm working on and implement them immediately so they can become second nature. So that's a huge advantage that I've gained just in the last year or two.
And as we know, you're now a college athlete, so you're continuing to work on your game and implement all the things that you're preaching to us right now. So individual player trying to raise the level of the team. You talked about, in season especially, understanding the game plan, understanding your game plan and understanding the game plan of the other team so you can help your team execute it when it matters most. Then you mentioned communication, right? Never shutting up. You're always talking. Everybody needs to know where, when, why on the court, in practice, doesn't change. That's great. And I'm sure that communication goes into the off season as well, keeping in touch with your teammates, getting them in for workouts, organizing open gyms. That communication should be a part of every single thing that you do as a basketball player. You want to be a leader of your team, and you want to have a team that leaves a legacy and a mark on your program. You can't do it without a high level of communication. Mm-hmm. Number 3, basketball is something that you don't just get good at playing 4, 5, 6 months out of the year. Okay. And if you're a serious player, knowing that you have to put in more work, more time, more energy than other people are going to do if you want to do something that other people are not able to do. And so understanding the time, the dedication, the sacrifice that it takes in order to be good at a high level is something that, your coach isn't going to walk you through, just like you said, right? Coach didn't break your jump shot. It's because you haven't practiced it enough, right?
Yep.
It's not coach's fault that, or your trainer's fault, or your mom and dad's fault that you can't break somebody down off of the dribble, and so that you lose playing time when there's a high pressure defense. It's because you didn't put in the work in May, June, July, August. Instead, you were out doing other things. That's a foundational principle in anything in life. You want to stand out, you got to invest more time in whatever it is that you want to be really good at. And then the fourth detail that you gave was playing against better players, one on one. If you score, why'd you score? Because you did it, right? There's no, hey, nice pass, hey, good screen. It's one on one. You score, right?
Yep.
Same thing on defense. Somebody scores on you. There's no looking over your shoulder and saying, hey, where was my help? It's on you, right? Get your game up, get your defense up, right? If somebody's getting buckets on you, it's that simple, right? And so finding people to play against, compete against, and one-on-one is a great individual tool, and I love playing one-on-one and encourage it at all our player development camps. And then going into small group games, small-sided games, playing 2-on-2, playing 3-on-3. It's easy to go to open gym and play pickup and take possessions off in 5-on-5 because somebody else is messing around. The person guarding you or the person on offense, they're not cutting, they're not screening, they don't have the basketball in their hands. So more reps, more purposeful reps in a shorter amount of time often can be done with 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. So make sure that you're doing that. Okay. Closing thoughts. Anything that you want to add for an advice to a player who wants to leave a mark, leave a legacy on their high school team?
Let's see. The way that I did it and my teammates did it was by not having a selfish mindset and just by recognizing that we have already established a great program, and to leave our mark on it, the best way to do it was to invest back into that program and try to represent that name across your chest the best you possibly can. Our school doesn't put the names on the back of our jerseys. We just have Patriots on the back of our jerseys. So when we were on the court, that's what we were. We were a family of Patriots. And to leave a mark individually, I believe that if you want to leave a mark individually, then you need to be a great teammate, do and work to your strengths. Because if you score 1,000 points but your team went 5-15, you're not leaving a great mark on the program. So you're better off investing in the coach. You're better off investing in the program and in your teammates. And of course, on top of that, if you're really grinding year round, those personal accolades will come. I got a lot of personal accolades, not as many as I wanted, honestly, but do I really care? Our team went undefeated when we weren't even honestly good enough to go undefeated. We never should have gone undefeated. That's because as the best player on the team, I didn't go out and get mine. I invested in my teammates. I invested in what my coach was saying and doing, and we invested in both ends of the floor. And that's how I left my mark on the program personally, was by valuing the team.
And you have a quote that we put on the back of our camp T-shirts a year ago, and I don't want to butcher it, so you can correct me, but it basically says, "Success is always better when it's shared." And I thought that was powerful because as an individual, we think, okay, how can I get better? Well, we look inward, and oftentimes how we can get better is looking outward and saying, how can we make everyone else better? Now that's going to improve my value, right? Because I'm not taking everything inside, I'm trying to push it out. And unselfish mindset. What are we going to do as a program? It's not about me getting mine. It's about us as a team being successful. And I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that we have team success over individual accolades, individual stats. That's some great sauce, man. That's some great. Thanks for sharing that. Taking a few minutes this morning. I know we got to get to a little basketball workout now because you want to be good. It's got to be a daily thing. Thanks for
Yep.
checking out this short episode today. We hope you guys have a great day, a great weekend. Get after it.